Okay, now we're going to assemble the cam part. The cam axle, the stoppers, the crank. This is the cam itself. Here's the plunger that's going to go on top, and the different axles. We're not going to need these for today, so I'm going to put those aside. First thing, take your cam and the larger axle, and it should fit, but it's going to be very tight. So if you're having a problem fitting, what you want to do is do some sanding. Just spend about a minute spinning it and rubbing it back and forth until the axle fits on. And it's okay if it gets stuck halfway. You want it to be tight. You want it to be able to spin on it. So only do about a little less than half, okay? Like that. All right, now, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put it through, we're gonna find the small hole, and that's gonna be the top. And then we're gonna place the axle inside, and we're going to fit the cam, and we're going to put it all the way through. Don't worry about where the cam is now. It's off to the side. Don't worry, we're going to adjust it after we finish the rest. So now on the other side, I'm going to take one of my stoppers, and I'm going to place it onto the cam like that. Now it's not all the way on, so I'm going to place it on a hard surface and use my hydro flask to get a couple taps. And you can see now that it's stopping the axle from being pulled through. At this point, you can kind of move your cam to the center. Okay, and this is where you want it to be directly below the hole in the top so that the plunger will go up and down. So we can go ahead and we can add another stopper. Put it on too tight. All right. You can glue these stoppers to either side, but they need to spin freely in the hole, so you don't want this wood or this piece or this stopper to be glued to the side. So make sure that it spins. And if you glue, just make sure you spin it a couple times so the glue doesn't adhere while it's drying here. These two could go on as a crank. They'll be glued too, so that when you actually spin them, they do spin the cam, okay? So now we've got the smaller axle. We put it through the top. This is hard to see, but we're going to adjust it so it's kind of right there. We don't want the stick going through. We want to be able to see. It wants to be a smooth ride. So we'll put a little dab of glue on that and then put it back on. And then go ahead and test it. Let me see, can you see the whole thing? And it's working like the cam assembly that you're going to create your cam on in general. These two will be used to attach the character to the top of this follower axle, where your character will go up and down, and we'll do that next class period.